Job. Chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Vizi called Ayub, and this man was an bright and honest man, one that feared God, and eschewed Yul. 2 And he had 6 sons, and 3 daughters. 3 His substance also was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and few hundredth yoke of oxen, and few hundredth she-asses, and his family was very great, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. 4 And his sons went and banquet in their houses, Uri won his day, and sent, and called their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. 5 And when the days of their banqueting were gone about, Ayub sent, and sanctified them, and rose early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Ayub thought, it may be that my sons ha sinned, and blasphemed God in their hearts, thus did Ayub Uri day. 6 Now on a day when the children of God came and stood before the Lord, Satan came also among them. 7 Then the Lord said to Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord, saying, From compassing the earth to and from walking in it. 8 And the Lord said to Satan, Hast thou not considered my servant Ayub, how none is like him in the earth? And bright and honest man, one that feareth God, and escheweth Yul? 9 Then Satan answered the Lord, and said, Doeth Ayub fear God for naught? 10 Hast thou not made an hedge about him and about his house, and about all that he hath on Uri's side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. 11 But stretch out now thine hand and touch all that he hath, to see if he will not blaspheme thee to thy face. 12 Then the Lord said to Satan, Lo, all that he hath is in thine hand, one leap on himself shalt thou not stretch out thine hand. So Satan departed from the presence of the Lord. 13 And on a day, when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house, 14 There came a messenger to Ayub, and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding in their places. 15 And the Shabeans came violently, and took them, they ha slain the Saruans with the edge of the sword, but I only am escaped alone to tell thee. 16 And whiles he was yet speaking, another came, and said, The fire of God is fallen from the Hoan, and hath burnt the sheep and the Saruans, and devoured them, but I only am escaped alone to tell thee. 17 And whiles he was yet speaking, another came, and said, The Chaldeans set on 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and ha taken them, and ha slain the Saruantes with the edge of the sword, but I only am escaped alone to tell thee. 18 And whiles he was yet speaking, came another, and said, Thy sons, and thy daughters were eating, and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. 19 And behold, there came a great wind from beyond the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, which fell upon the children, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. 20 Then Ayub arose, and rent his garment, and shot his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped. 21 And said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord hath jouen, and the Lord hath taken it, blessed be the name of the Lord. 22 In all this did not Ayub sin, nor charge God foolishly. Chapter 2. 1 And on a day the children of God came and stood before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, and stood before the Lord. 2 Then the Lord said to Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord, and said, From compassing the earth to and from walking in it. 3 And the Lord said to Satan, Hast thou not considered my servant Ayub, how none is like him in the earth? And bright and honest man, one that feareth God, and escheweth Yul? For yet he continueth in his brightness, although thou mudst me against him, to destroy him without cause. 4 And Satan answered the Lord, and said, Skin for skin, and all that you or a man hath, will he do for his life. 5 But stretch now out thine hand, and touch his bones and his flesh, to see if he will not blaspheme thee to thy face. 6 Then the Lord said to Satan, Lo, he is in thine hand, but saw his life. 7 So Satan departed from the presence of the Lord, and smote Ayub with sore boils, from the sole of his foot to his crown. 8 And he took a potsherd to scrape him, and he sate down among the ashes. 9 Then said his wife to him, Doest thou continue yet in thine brightness? Blaspheme God, and die. 10 But he said to her, Thou speakest like a foolish woman. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and not receive Yul? In all this did not Ayub sin with his lips. 11 Now when Iob's 3 friends heard of all this Sheol that was come upon him, they came Uri one from his own place, to wit, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, for they were agreed together to come to lament with him, and to comfort him. 12 So when they lift vp their eyes afar off, they knew him not, therefore they lift vp their voices and wept, and Uri one of them rent his garment, and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward the Hohen. 13 So they sate by him upon the ground Suan days, and Suan nights, and none spake a word to him, for they saw that the grief was very great. Chapter 3. 1 Afterward Iob opened his mouth, and cursed his day. 2 And Iob cried out, and said, 3 Let the day perish, wherein I was born, and the night when it was said, there is a man-child conceived. For let that day be darkness, let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. 5 But let darkness, and the shadow of death stain it, let the cloud remain upon it, and let them make it fearful as a bitter day. 6 Let darkness possess that night, let it not be ironed to the days of the year, nor let it come into the count of the months. 7 Yea, desolate be that night, and let no Ioe be in it. 8 Let them that curse the day, being ready to renew their mourning, curse it. 9 Let the stars of that twilight be dim through darkness of it, let it look for light, but ha none, neither let it see the dawning of the day. 10 Because it shut not vp the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from mine eyes. 11 Why died I not in the birth? Or why died I not, when I came out of the womb? 12 Why did the knees pruint me? And why did I suck the breasts? 13 For so should I now ha lion and been a quiet, I should ha slept then, and been a at rest. 14 With the kings and counselors of the earth, which ha builded themselves desolate places. 15 Or with the princes that had gold, and ha filled their houses with silver. 16 Or why was I not hid, as in timely birth, either as infants, which ha not seen the light? 17 The wicked ha there ceased from their tyranny, and there they that labored valiantly, are at rest. 18 The prisoners rest together, and hear not the voice of the oppressor. 19 There are small and great, and the servant is free from his master. 20 Wherefore is the light due unto him that is in misery? And life to them that ha holy hearts? 21 Which long for death, and if it come not, they would ewen search it more than treasures. 22 Which Ioe for glens, and rejoice, when they can find the graua. 23 Why is the light due unto the man whose way is hid, and whom God hath hedged in? 24 For my sighing cometh before I eat, and my roarings are poured out like the water. 25 For the thing I feared, is come upon me, and the thing that I was afraid of, is come to me. 26 I had no peace, neither had I quietness, neither had I rest, yet trouble is come. Chapter 4. 1 Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered, and said, 2 If we essay to commune with thee, wilt thou be good? But who can withhold himself from speaking? 3 Behold, thou hast taught many, and hast strengthened the weary hands. For thy words ha confirmed him that was falling, and thou hast strengthened the weak knees. 5 But now it is come upon thee, and thou art good, it toucheth thee, and thou art troubled. 6 Is not this thy fear, thy confidence, thy patience, and the brightness of thy ways? 7 Remember, I pray thee, who you were perished, being an innocent. Or where were the bright destroyed? 8 As I ha seen, they that plough iniquity, and sow wickedness, reap the same. 9 With the blast of God they perish, and with the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. 10 The roaring of the lion, and the voice of the lioness, and the teeth of the lion's whelps are broken. 11 The lion perisheth for lack of prey, and the lion's whelps are scattered abroad. 12 But a thing was brought to me secretly, and mine ear hath received a little thereof. 13 In the thoughts of ye visions of the night, when sleep falleth on men. 14 Fear came upon me, and dread which made all my bones to tremble. 15 And the wind passed before me, and made the hairs of my flesh to stand vp. 16 Then stood one, and I knew not his face, an image was before mine eyes, and in silence heard I a voice, saying, 17 Shall man be more highest than God? Or shall a man be more pure than his Maker? 18 Behold, he found no steadfastness in his servants, and laid folly upon his angels. 19 How much more in them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which shall be destroyed before the moth. 20 They be destroyed from the morning to the evening, they perish for ewer, without regard. 21 Doeth not their dignity go away with them? Do they not die, and that without wisdom? Chapter 5. 1 Call now, if any will answer thee, and to which of the saints wilt thou turn? 2 Doubtless anger killeth the foolish, and ennui slayeth the idiot. 3 I ha seen the foolish well rooted, and suddenly I cursed his habitation, saying, for his children shall be far from salutation, and they shall be destroyed in the gate, and none shall devour them. 5 The hungry shall eat his harvest, yea, they shall take it from among the thorns, and the thirsty shall drink their substance. 6 For misery cometh not forth of the dust, neither doeth affliction spring out of the earth. 7 But man is born to trial, as the sparks fly poured. 8 But I would inquire at God, and turn my talk unto God. 9 Which doeth great things unsearchable, and marvelous things without number. 10 He doeth rain upon the earth, and poureth water upon the streets. 11 And setteth on high them that be low, that the sorrowful may be exalted to salutation. 12 He scattereth the disses of the crafty, so that their hands cannot accomplish that which they do enterprise. 13 He taketh the wise in their craftiness, and the counsel of the wicked is made foolish. 14 They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope at noonday, as in the night. 15 But he soweth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the violent man. 16 So that the poor hath his hope, but iniquity shall stop her mouth. 17 Behold, blessed is the man whom God correcteth, therefore refuse not thou the chastising of the Almighty. 18 For he mocketh the wound, and bindeth it he smitteth, and his hands make whole. 19 He shall devour thee in 6 troubles, and in the suint the yule shall not touch thee. 20 In famine he shall devour thee from death, and in battle from the power of the sword. 21 Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, and thou shalt not be afraid of destruction when it cometh. 22 But thou shalt laugh at destruction and dearth, and shalt not be afraid of the beast of the earth. 23 For the stones of the field shall be in league with thee, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. 24 And thou shalt know, that peace shall be in thy tabernacle, and thou shalt visit thine habitation, and shalt not sin. 25 Thou shalt pursue also, that thy seed shall be great, and thy posterity as the grass of the earth. 26 Thou shalt go to thy grow in a full age, as a ricky of corn cometh in due season into the barn. 27 Lo, thus ha we inquired of it, and so it is, hear this and know it for thyself. Chapter 6. 1 Bvt Iab answered, and said, 2 O that my grief were well weighed, and my miseries were laid together in the balance. 3 For it would be now holier than the sandy of the sea, therefore my wards are swallowed vp. 4 For the arrows of the Almighty are in me, the venom whereof doeth drink vp my spirit, and the terrors of God fight against me. 5 Doeth the wild assy bray when he hath grass? Or loweth the ox when he hath fodder? 6 That which is soury, shall it be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an eggy? 7 Such things as my soul refused to touch, as were sorrows, are my meat. 8 Oh that I might ha my desire, and that God would grant me the thing that I long for. 9 That is, that God would destroy me, that he would let his hand go, and cut me off. 10 Then should I yet ha comfort, though I burn with sorrow, let him not spare, because I ha not denied the wards of the Holy One. 11 What power ha I that I should endure? Or what is mine end, if I should prolong my life? 12 Is my strength the strength of stones? Or is my flesh of brass? 13 Is it not so, that there is in me no help? And that strength is taken from me? 14 He that is in misery, ought to be comforted of his neighbor, but men ha forsaken the fear of the Almighty. 15 My brother ha deceived me as a brook, and as the rising of the rewers they pass away. 16 Which are blackish with ye, and wherein the snow is hid. 17 But in time they are dried vp with heat and are consumed, and when it is out they fail out of their places. 18 Or they depart from their way and course, yea, they vanish and perish. 19 They that go to Tema, considered them, and they that go to Sheba, waited for them. 20 But they were confounded, when they hoped, they came thither and were ashamed. 21 Surely now are ye like to it, ye ha seen my fearful plague, and are afraid. 22 Was it because I said, Bring to me? Or do a reward to me of your substance? 23 And deliver me from the enemy's hand, or ransom me out of the hand of tyrants? 24 Teach me, and I will hold my tongue, and cause me to understand, wherein I ha erred. 25 How steadfast are the words of righteousness? And what can any of you honestly reprove? 26 Do ye imagine to reprove words, that the talk of the afflicted should be as the wind? 27 Ye make your wrath to fall upon the fatherless, and dig a pit for your friend. 28 Now therefore be content to look upon me, for I will not lie before your face. 29 Turn, I pray you, let there be none iniquity, return, I say, and ye shall see yet my righteousness in that behalf. Is there iniquity in my tongue? Doeth not my mouth feel sorrows? Chapter 7 1 Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? And are not his days as the days of an hireling? 2 As a servant longeth for the shadow, and as an hireling looketh for the end of his work. 3 So ha I had as an inheritance the months of vanity, and painful nights ha been appointed to me. For if I laid me down, I said, When shall I arise? And measuring the evening I am ewen full with tossing to and from to the dawning of the day. 5 My flesh is clothed with worms and filthiness of the dust, my skin is rent, and become horrible. 6 My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and they are spent without hope. 7 Remember that my life is but a wind, and that mine I shall not return to see pleasure. 8 The eye that hath seen me, shall see me no more, thine eyes are upon me, and I shall be no longer. 9 As the cloud vanisheth and goeth away, so he that goeth down to the ground shall come vp no more. 10 He shall return no more to his house, neither shall his place know him any more. 11 Therefore I will not spare my mouth, but will speak in the trouble of my spirit, and muse in the bitterness of my mind. 12 Am I a sea or a whalefish, that thou keepest me in ward? 13 When I say, My couch shall relieve me, and my bed shall bring comfort in my meditation. 14 Then fearest thou me with dreams, and astonishest me with visions. 15 Therefore my soul chooseth rather to be strangled and to die, than to be in my bones. 16 I abhor it, I shall not live alway, spare me then, for my days are but vanity. 17 What is man, that thou doest magnify him, and that thou settest thine heart upon him? 18 And doest visit him every morning, and triest him every moment? 19 How long will it be ere thou depart from me? Thou wilt not let me alone whiles I may swallow my spittle. 20 I ha sinned, what shall I do to thee? O thou preserver of me, why hast thou set me as a mark against thee, so that I am a burden to myself? 21 And why doest thou not pardon my trespass, and take away mine iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and if thou seekest me in the morning, I shall not be found. Chapter 8 1 Then answered Bildad the Shuhite, and said, 2 How long wilt thou talk of these things? And how long shall the words of thy mouth be as a mighty wind? 3 Doeth God pervert judgment? Or doeth the Almighty subvert justice? For if thy sons ha sinned against him, and he hath sent them into the place of their iniquity. 5 Yet if thou wilt early seek to God, and pray to the Almighty. 6 If thou be pure and bright, then surely he will awake vp to thee, and he will make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. 7 And though thy beginning be small, yet thy latter end shall greatly increase. 8 Inquire therefore, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. 9 For we are but of yesterday, and are ignorant, for our days upon earth are but a shadow. 10 Shall not they teach thee and tell thee, and veter the words of their heart? 11 Can a rush grow without mire? Or can ye grass grow without water? 12 Though it were in green and not cut down, yet shall it wither before any other herb. 13 So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. 14 His confidence also shall be cut off, and his trust shall be as the house of a spider. 15 He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand, he shall hold him fast by it, yet shall it not endure. 16 The tree is green before the sun, and the branches spread o'er the garden thereof. 17 The roots thereof are wrapped about the fountain, and are folden about ye house of stones. 18 If any pluck it from his place, and it denny, saying, I ha not seen thee. 19 Behold, it will rejoice by this means, that it may grow in another mold. 20 Behold, God will not cast away an upright man, neither will he take the wicked by the hand. 21 Till he ha filled thy mouth with laughter, and thy lips with ioe. 22 They that hate thee, shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling of the wicked shall not remain. Chapter 9. 1 Then Iab answered, and said, 2 I know verily that it is so, for how should man compared to God be justified? 3 If I would dispute with him, he could not answer him one thing of 1,000. For he is wise in heart, and mighty in strength, who hath been a fierce against him and hath prospered. 5 He removeth the mountains, and they feel not when he overthroweth them in his wrath. 6 He removeth the earth out of her place, that the pillars thereof do shake. 7 He commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, he causeth vp the stars, as vender a signet. 8 He himself alone spreadeth out the hoens, and walketh upon the height of the sea. 9 He mocketh the stars Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the climates of the south. 10 He doeth great things, and unsearchable, yea, marvelous things without number. 11 Lo, when he goeth by me, I see him not, and when he passeth by, I perceive him not. 12 Behold, when he taketh a prey, who can make him to restore it? Who shall say to him, What doest thou? 13 God will not withdraw his anger, and the most mighty helps dost defender him. 14 How much less shall I answer him? Or how should I find out my words with him? 15 For though I were highest, yet could I not answer but I would make supplication to my judge. 16 If I cry, and he answer me, yet would I not believe that he heard my voice. 17 For he destroyeth me with a tempest, and woundeth me without cause. 18 He will not suffer me to take my breath, but filleth me with bitterness. 19 If we speak of strength, behold, he is strong. If we speak of judgment, who shall bring me in to plead? 20 If I would justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me, if I would be perfect, he shall judge me wicked. 21 Though I were perfect, yet I know not my soul, therefore abhor I my life. 22 This is one point, therefore I said, he destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. 23 If the scourge should suddenly slay, should God laugh at the punishment of the innocent? 24 The earth is joined into the hand of ye wicked, he coureth the faces of the edges thereof, if not, where is he? Or who is he? 25 My days ha been a more swift than a post, they ha fled, and ha seen no good thing. 26 They are past as with the most swift ships, and as the eagle that flieth to the prey. 27 If I say, I will forget my complaint, I will cease from my wrath, and comfort me. 28 Then I am afraid of all my sorrows, knowing that thou wilt not judge me innocent. 29 If I be wicked, why labor I thus in vain? 30 If I wash myself with snow water, and purge mine hands most clean, 31 Yet shalt thou plunge me in the pit, and mine own clothes shall make me filthy. 32 For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, if we come together to judgment. 33 Neither is there any vampire that might lay his hand upon versus both. 34 Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fear astonish me. 35 Then will I speak, and fear him not, but because I am not so, I hold me still. Chapter 10. 1 My soul is cut off though I live, I will low my complaint upon myself, and will speak in the bitterness of my soul. 2 I will say to God, condemn me not, shew me, wherefore thou contendest with me. 3 Thinkest thou it good to oppress me, and to cast off the labor of thine hands, and to follow the counsel of the wicked? For hast thou carnal eyes? Or doest thou see as man seeth? 5 Are thy days as man's days? Or thy years, as the time of man? 6 That thou inquirest of mine iniquity, and searchest out my sin? 7 Thou knowest that I cannot do wickedly, for none can deliver me out of thine hand. 8 Thine hands ha made me, and fashioned me wholly round about, and wilt thou destroy me? 9 Remember, I pray thee, that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again? 10 Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and turned me to cruds like cheese? 11 Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and ironed me together with bones and sinews. 12 Thou hast given me life and grace, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. 13 Though thou hast hid these things in thine heart, yet I know that it is so with thee. 14 If I ha sinned, then thou wilt straightly look to me, and wilt not hold me guiltless of mine iniquity. 15 If I ha done wickedly, woe to me, if I ha done righteously, I will not lift vp mine head, being full of confusion, because I see mine affliction. 16 But let it increase, hunt thou me as a lion, return and shew thyself merciless upon me. 17 Thou renewest thy plagues against me, and thou increasest thy wrath against me, changes and armies of sorrows are against me. 18 Wherefore then hast thou brought me out of the womb? O that I had perished, and that none I had seen me. 19 And that I were as I had not been but brought from the womb to the grave. 20 Are not my days few? Let him cease, and lo off from me, that I may take a little comfort. 21 Before I go and shall not return, you into the land of darkness and shadow of death. 22 Into a land, I say, dark as darkness itself, and into the shadow of death, where is none order, but the light is there is darkness. Chapter 11. 1 Then answered Zophar the Naamathite, and said, 2 Should not the multitude of words be answered? Or should a great talker be justified? 3 Should men hold their peace at thy lies? And when thou mockest others, shall none make thee ashamed? For thou hast said, My doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. 5 But, O that God would speak and open his lips against thee. 6 That he might shew thee the secrets of wisdom, how thou hast deserted double, according to right, know therefore that God hath forgotten thee for thine iniquity. 7 Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out ye Almighty to his perfection? 8 The heavens are high, what canst thou do? It is deeper than the hell, how canst thou know it? 9 The measure thereof is longer than the earth, and it is broader than the sea. 10 If he cut off and shut vp, or gather together, who can turn him back? 11 For he knoweth vain men, and seeth iniquity, and him that understandeth nothing. 12 Yet vain man would be wise, though man new born is like a wild assy colt. 13 If thou prepare thine heart, and stretch out thine hands toward him. 14 If iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let no wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle. 15 The truly shalt thou lift vp thy face without spot, and shalt be stable, and shalt not fear. 16 But thou shalt forget thy misery, and remember it as waters that are past. 17 Thine age also shall appear more clear than the noonday, thou shalt shine and be as the morning. 18 And thou shalt be bold, because there is hope, and thou shalt dig pits, and shalt lie down safely. 19 For when thou takest thy rest, none shall make thee afraid, yea, many shall make certain to thee. 20 But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and their refuge shall perish, and their hope shall be sorrow of mind. Chapter 12. 1 Then Ahab answered, and said, 2 Indeed because that ye are the people only, wisdom must die with you. 3 But I have understanding as well as you, and am not inferior to you, yea, who knoweth not such things? For I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon God, and he heareth him, the eyest and the bright is laughed to scorn. 5 He that is ready to fall, is as a lampy despised in the opinion of the Rish. 6 The tabernacles of robbers do prosper, and they are in safe tie, that provoke God, whom God hath enriched with his hand. 7 Ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the foals of the hoen, and they shall tell thee, 8 Or speak to the earth, and it shall shew thee, or the fishes of the sea, and they shall declare to thee. 9 Who is ignorant of all these, but that the hand of the Lord hath made these? 10 In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? 11 Doeth not the ears discern the words? And the mouth taste meat for itself? 12 Among the ancient is wisdom, and in the length of days is understanding. 13 With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. 14 Behold, he will break down, and it cannot be built, he shutteth a man vp, and he cannot be loosed. 15 Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry vp, but when he sendeth them out, they destroy the earth. 16 With him is strength and wisdom, he that is deceived, and that deceiveth, are his. 17 He causeth the counselors to go as spoiled, and mocketh the edges fools. 18 He looseth the collar of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. 19 He letteth away the princes as a prey, and overthroweth the mighty. 20 He taketh away the speech from the faithful counselors, and taketh away the judgment of the ancient. 21 He poureth contempt upon princes, and mocketh the strength of the mighty weak. 22 He discoureth the deep places from their darkness, and bringeth forth the shadow of death to light. 23 He increaseth the people, and destroyeth them, he enlargeth the nations, and bringeth them in again. 24 He taketh away the hearts of the that are the chiefous or the people of the earth, and mocketh them to wander in the wilderness out of the way. 25 They grope in the dark without light, and he mocketh the to stagger like a drunken man. Chapter 13. 1 Lo, mine eye hath seen all this, mine ear hath heard, and understand it. 2 I know also as much as you know, I am not inferior to you. 3 But I will speak to the Almighty, and I desire to dispute with God. 4 For indeed ye forge lies, and all you are physicians of no value. 5 Oh, that you would hold your tongue, that it might be imputed to you for wisdom. 6 Now hear my disputation, and do ear to the arguments of my lips. 7 Will ye speak wickedly for God's defense, and talk deceitfully for his cause? 8 Will ye accept his person? Or will ye contend for God? 9 Is it well that he should seek of you? Will you make a lie for him, as one lieth for a man? 10 He will surely reprove you, if ye do secretly accept any person. 11 Shall not his excellency make you afraid? And his fear fall upon you? 12 Your memories may be compared to ashes, and your bodies to bodies of clay. 13 Hold your tongues in my presence, that I may speak, and let come upon what will. 14 Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my soul in mine hand? 15 Lo, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, and I will reprove my ways in his sight. 16 He shall be my salutation also, for the hypocrite shall not come before him. 17 Hear diligently my words, and mark my talka. 18 Behold now, if I prepare me to judgment, I know that I shall be justified. 19 Who is he that will plead with me? For if I now hold my tongue, I die. 20 But do not these two things to me, then will I not hide myself from thee. 21 Withdraw thine hand from me, and let not thy fear make me afraid. 22 Then call thou, and I will answer, or let me speak, and answer thou me. 23 How many are mine iniquities and sins? Shew me my rebellion, and my sin. 24 Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and takest me for thine enemy? 25 Wilt thou break a leaf dry you into and from? And wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? 26 For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquities of my youth. 27 Thou puttiest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly to all my paths, and makest the print thereof in ye heels of my feet. 28 Such one consumeth like a rotten thing, and as a garment that is moth-eaten. Chapter 14. 1 Man that is born of woman, is of short continuance, and full of trouble. 2 He shooteth forth as a flower, and is cut down, he vanisheth also as a shadow, and continueth not. 3 And yet thou openest thine eyes upon such one, and causest me to enter into judgment with thee. For who can bring a clean thing out of filthiness? There is not one. 5 Are not his days determined? The number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds, which he cannot pass. 6 Turn from him that he may cease till his desired day, as an hireling. 7 For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will yet sprout, and the branches thereof will not cease. 8 Though the root of it wax old in the earth, and the stalk thereof be dead in ye ground, 9 Yet by the scent of water it will bud, and bring forth boughs like a plant. 10 But man is sick, and dieth, and man perisheth, and where is he? 11 As the waters pass from the sea, and as the flood decayeth and drieth. 12 So man sleepeth and riseth not, for he shall not wake again, nor be raised from his sleep till the hoen be no more. 13 Oh that thou wouldest hide me in the ground, and keep me secret, till thy wrath were past, and wouldest give me term, and remember me. 14 If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of mine appointed time will I wait, till my changing shall come. 15 Thou shalt call me, and I shall answer thee, thou luest the work of thine own hands. 16 But now thou numberest my steps, and doest not delay my sins. 17 Mine iniquity is sealed as in a bag, and thou addest to my wickedness. 18 And surely as the mountain that falleth, cometh to naught, and the rock that is removed from his place. 19 As the water breaketh the stones, when thou o'erflowest the things which grow in the dust of ye earth, so thou destroyest ye hope of man. 20 Thou prowlest alway against him, so that he passeth away, he changeth his face when thou castest him away. 21 And he knoweth not if his sons shall be honorable, neither shall he understand concerning them, whether they shall be of low degree. 22 But while his flesh is upon him, he shall be sorrowful, and while his soul is in him, it shall mourn. Chapter 15. 1 Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite, and said, 2 Shall a wise man speak words of ye wind, and fill his bell lie with the east wind? 3 Shall he dispute with words not comely? Or with talk that is not profitable? For surely thou hast cast off fear, and restrainest prayer before God. 5 For thy mouth declareth thine iniquity, seeing thou hast chosen ye tongue of the crafty. 6 Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I, and thy lips testify against thee. 7 Art thou the first man that was born? And wast thou made before the hills? 8 Hast thou heard the secret counsel of God, and doest thou restrain wisdom to thee? 9 What knowest thou that we know not? And understandest that is not in verses? 10 With verses are both ancient and very aged men, far older than thy father. 11 See me the consolations of God small to thee? Is this thing strange to thee? 12 Why doeth thine heart take thee away, and what do thine eyes mean? 13 That thou answerest to God at thy pleasure, and bringest such words out of thy mouth. 14 What is man, that he should be clean? And he that is born of woman, that he should be highest? 15 Behold, he found no steadfastness in his saints, yea, the Hoans are not clean in his sight. 16 How much more is man abominable, and filthy, which drinketh iniquity like water? 17 I will tell thee, hear me, and I will declare that which I ha seen. 18 Which wise men ha told as they ha heard of their fathers, and ha not kept it secret. 19 To whom alone the land was Juan and no stranger passed through them. 20 The wicked man is continually as one that travaileth of child, and the number of years is hid from the tyrant. 21 A sound of fear is in his ears, and in his prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. 22 He believeth not to return out of darkness, for he seeth the sword before him. 23 He wandereth to and from for bread where he may, he knoweth that the day of darkness is prepared at hand. 24 Affliction and anguish shall make him afraid, they shall prowl against him as a king ready to the battle. 25 For he hath stretched out his hand against God, and made himself strong against the Almighty. 26 Therefore God shall run upon him, even upon his neck, and against the most thick part of his shield. 27 Because he hath covered his face with his fatness, and hath collops in his flank. 28 Though he dwell in desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabiteth, but are become heaps. 29 He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof in the earth. 30 He shall ne'er depart out of darkness, the flame shall drive his branches, and he shall go away with the breath of his mouth. 31 He believeth not that he erreth in vanity, therefore vanity shall be his change. 32 His branch shall not be green, but shall be cut off before his day. 33 God shall destroy him as the vine her sower grape, and shall cast him off, as the olive doeth her floor. 34 For the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall devour the houses of bribes. 35 For they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their bell lie hath prepared deceit. Chapter 16. 1 Bvt Iab answered, and said, 2 I ha oft times heard such things, miserable comforters are ye all. 3 Shall there be none endy of words of wind? Or what mocketh thee bold so to answer? For I could also speak as ye do, but would God your soul were in my soul's stead, I could keep you company in speaking, and could shake mine head at you. 5 But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the comfort of my lips should assuage your sorrow. 6 Though I speak, my sorrow cannot be assuaged, though I cease, what release ha I? 7 But now he mocketh me weary, O God, thou hast made all my congregation desolate. 8 And hast made me full of wrinkles which is a witness thereof, and my lians riseth vp in me, testifying the same in my face. 9 His wrath hath torn me, and he hatteth me, and gnasheth upon me with his teeth, mine enemy hath sharpened his eyes against me. 10 They ha opened their mouths upon me, and smitten me on the cheek in reproach, they gather themselves together against me. 11 God hath delured me to the nighest, and hath made me to turn out of the way by the hands of the wicked. 12 I was in wealth, but he hath brought me to naught, he hath taken me by the neck, and beaten me, and set me as a mark for himself. 13 His archers compass me round about, he cutteth my reins, and doth not spare, and poureth my gall upon the ground. 14 He hath broken me with one breaking upon another, and runneth upon me like a giant. 15 I ha sewed a sackcloth upon my skin, and ha based mine horn to the dust. 16 My face is withered with weeping, and the shadow of death is upon mine eyes. 17 Though there be no wickedness in mine hands, and my prayer be pure. 18 O earth, cour not thou my blood, and let my crying find no place. 19 For lo, now my witness is in the Hohen, and my record is on high. 20 My friends speak eloquently against me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. 21 Oh that a man might plead with God, as man with his neighbor. 22 For the year is accounted come, and I shall go the way, whence I shall not return. Chapter 17. 1 My breath is corrupt, my days are cut off, and the groua is ready for me. 15 The eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight, and saith, None eye shall see me, and disguiseth his face. 16 They dig through houses in the dark, which they marked for themselves in the day, they know not the light. 17 But the morning is hewn to them as the shadow of death, if one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. 18 He is swift upon the waters, their portion shall be cursed in the earth, he will not behold the way of the vineyards. 19 As the dry ground and heat consume the snow waters, so shall the grow of the sinners. 20 The pitiful man shall forget him, the worm shall feel his sweetens, he shall be no more remembered, and the wicked shall be broke like a tree. 21 He doth yule entreat ye barren, that doeth not beer, neither doeth he good to the widow. 22 He draweth also the mighty by his power, and when he riseth vp, none is sure of life. 23 Though men jew him assurance to be in safety, yet his eyes are upon their ways. 24 They are exalted for a little, but they are gone, and are brought low as all others, they are destroyed, and cut off as the top of an ear of corn. 25 But if it be not so, where is he? Or who will pro me a leer, and make my words of no value? Chapter 25. 1 Then answered Bildad the Shuhite, and said, 2 Power and fear is with him, that mocketh peace in his high places. 3 Is there any number in his armies? And upon whom shall not his light arise? 4 And how may a man be justified with God? Or how can he be clean, that is born of woman? 5 Behold, he will do no light to the moon, and the stars are unclean in his sight. 6 How much more man, a worm, you and the son of man, which is but a worm? Chapter 26. 1 Bvt Iab answered, and said, To whom helpest thou? Him that hath no power? Sawest thou the arm that hath no strength? 3 Whom counsellest thou? Him that hath no wisdom? Thou shewest right well as the thing is. For to whom doest thou declare these words? Or whose spirit cometh out of thee? 5 The dead things are formed vendor the waters, and near to them. 6 The groua is naked before him, and there is no cooring for destruction. 7 He stretcheth out the north ouer the empty place and hangeth the earth upon nothing. 8 He bindeth the waters in his clouds, and the cloud is not broken vendor them. 9 He holdeth back the face of his throne, and spreadeth his cloud upon it. 10 He hath set bounds about the waters, till the day and night come to an end. 11 The pillars of Hohen tremble and quake at his reproof. 12 The sea is calm by his power, and by his understanding he smitteth the pride thereof. 13 His spyrite hath garnished the Hohens, and his hand hath formed the crooked serpent. 14 Lo, these are part of his ways, but how little a portion hear we of him? And who can understand his fearful power? Chapter 27. 1 More our Iab proceeded and continued his parable, saying, To the luing God hath taken away my judgment. For the Almighty hath put my soul in bitterness. 3 Yet so long as my breath is in me, and the Spirit of God in my nostrils, for my lips surely shall speak no wickedness, and my tongue shall utter no deceit. 5 God forbid that I should justify you, till I die, I will ne'er take away mine innocency from myself. 6 I will keep my righteousness, and will not forsake it, mine heart shall not reproach me of my days. 7 Mine enemy shall be as the wicked, and he that riseth against me, as the righteous. 8 For what hope hath the hypocrite when he hath heaped vp riches, if God take away his soul? 9 Will God hear his cry, when trouble cometh upon him? 10 Will he set his delight on the Almighty? Will he call upon God at all times? 11 I will teach you what is in the hand of God, and I will not conceal that which is with the Almighty. 12 Behold, all ye yourselves ha seen it, why then do you thus vanish in vanity? 13 This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of tyrants, which they shall receive of the Almighty. 14 If his children be in great number, the sword shall destroy them, and his posterity shall not be satisfied with bread. 15 His remnant shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. 16 Though he should heap vp silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, 17 He may prepare it, but the highest shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. 18 He buildeth his house as the moth, and as a lodge that the watchman mocketh. 19 When the rich man sleepeth, he shall not be gathered to his fathers, they opened their eyes, and he was gone. 20 Terrors shall take him as waters, and a tempest shall carry him away by night. 21 The east wind shall take him away, and he shall depart, and it shall hurl him out of his place. 22 And God shall cast upon him and not spare, though he would fain flee out of his hand. 23 Weary man shall clap their hands at him, and hiss at him out of their place. Chapter 28 1 The silver surely hath his vein, and ye gold his place, where they take it. 2 Iron is taken out of the dust, and brass is molten out of the stone. 3 God putteth an end to darkness, and he trieth the perfection of all things, he setteth a bond of darkness, and of the shadow of death. For the flood breaketh out against the inhabitant, and the waters forgotten of the foot, being higher than man, are gone away. 5 Out of the same earth cometh bread, and vendor it, as it were fire is turned vp. 6 The stones thereof are a place of sapphires, and the dust of it is gold. 7 There is a path which no fool hath known, neither hath the kites I seen it. 8 The lion's whelps ha not walked it, nor the lion passed thereby. 9 He putteth his hand upon the rocks, and overthroweth the mountains by the roots. 10 He breaketh rewers in the rocks, and his eye seeth every precious thing. 11 He bindeth the floods, that they do not overflow, and the thing that is hid, bringeth he to light. 12 But where is wisdom found? And where is the place of understanding? 13 Man knoweth not the price thereof, for it is not found in the land of the living. 14 The depth saith, it is not in me, the sea also saith, it is not with me. 15 Gold shall not be jouen for it, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. 16 It shall not be valued with the wedge of gold of Ophir, nor with the precious onyx, nor the sapphire. 17 The gold nor the crystal shall be equal to it, nor the exchange shall be for plate of fine gold. 18 No mention shall be made of coral, nor of the gabish, for wisdom is more precious than pearls. 19 The topaz of Ethiopia shall not be equal to it, neither shall it be valued with the wedge of pure gold. 20 Whence then cometh wisdom? And where is the place of understanding? 21 Seeing it is hid from the eyes of all the living, and is hid from the foals of the hoen. 22 Destruction and death say, we ha heard the fame thereof with our ears. 23 But God understandeth the way thereof, and he knoweth the place thereof. 24 For he beholdeth the endies of the world, and seeth all that is vendor hoen. 25 To make the weight of the winds, and to weigh the waters by measure. 26 When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning of the thunders. 27 Then did he see it, and counted it, he prepared it and also considered it. 28 And to man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. Chapter 29 1 So Ayub proceeded and continued his parable, saying, 2 Oh that I were as in times past, when God preceded me. 3 When his light shined upon mine head, and when by his light I walked through the darkness, for as I was in the days of my youth, when God's providence was upon my tabernacle. 5 When the Almighty was yet with me, and my children round about me. 6 When I washed my paths with butter, and when the rock poured me out rivers of oil. 7 When I went out to the gate, even to the judgment seat, and when I caused them to prepare my seat in the street. 8 The young men saw me, and hid themselves, and the aged arose, and stood vp. 9 The princes stayed Taka, and laid their hand on their mouth. 10 The voice of princes was hidda, and their tongue clode to the roof of their mouth. 11 And when the ear heard me, it blessed me, and when the eye saw me, it gave witness to me. 12 For I delivered the poor that cried, and the fatherless, and him that had none to help him. 13 The blessing of him that was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to rejoice. 14 I put on Iestus, and it cured me, my ointment was as a robe, and a crown. 15 I was the eyes to the blind, and I was the feet to the lame. 16 I was a father to the poor, and when I knew not the cause, I sought it out diligently. 17 I break also the jaws of the righteous man, and pluck the prey out of his teeth. 18 Then I said, I shall die in my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the sand. 19 For my root is spread out by the water, and the dew shall lie upon my branch. 20 My glory shall renew toward me, and my bow shall be restored in mine hand. 21 To me men gave ear, and wait, and held their tongue at my counsel. 22 After my words they replied not, and my Taka dropped upon them. 23 And they wait for me, as for the rain, and they opened their mouth as for the latter rain. 24 If I laughed on them, they believed it not, neither did they cause the light of my countenance to fall. 25 I appointed out their way, and did sit as chief, and dwelt as a king in the army, and like him that comforteth the mourners. Chapter 30 1 BVT Now they that are younger than I, mock me, yea, they whose fathers I ha refused to set with the dogs of my flocks. 2 For whereto should the strength of their hands ha served me, seeing age perished in them? 3 For poverty and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, which is dark, desolate and waste. For they cut vp nettles by the bushes, and the juniper roots was their meat. 5 They were chased forth from among men, they shouted at them as out of the F. 6 Therefore they dwelt in the clefts of rewers, in the holes of the earth and rocks. 7 They roared among the bushes, and vendor the thistles they gathered themselves. 8 They were the children of fools and the children of villains, which were more vile than the earth. 9 And now am I their song, and I am their Taka. 10 They abhor me, and flee far away from me, and spare not to spit in my face. 11 Because that God hath loosed my cord and humbled me, they ha loosed the bridle before me. 12 The youth rise vp at my right hand, they ha pushed my feet, and ha trode on me as on the paths of their destruction. 13 They ha destroyed my paths, they took pleasure at my calamity, they had none help. 14 They came as a great breach of waters, and vendor this calamity they come on heaps. 15 Fear is turned upon me, and they pursue my soul as the wind, and mine health passeth away as a cloud. 16 Therefore my soul is now poured out upon me, and the days of affliction ha taken hold on me. 17 It purseth my bones in the night, and my sinews take no rest. 18 For the great vehemency is my garment changed, which compasseth me about as the collar of my coat. 19 He hath cast me into the mire, and I am become like ashes and dust. 20 Whe I cried to thee, thou doest not hear me, neither regardest me, when I stand vp. 21 Thou turnest thyself cruelly against me, and art enemy to me with the strength of thine hand. 22 Thou takest me vp and causest me to ride upon the wind, and makest my strength to fail. 23 Surely I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all the lewing. 24 Doubtless none can stretch his hand to the ground, though they cry in his destruction. 25 Did not I weep with him that was in trouble? Was not my soul in holiness for the poor? 26 Yet when I looked for good, ill came to me, and when I waited for light, there came darkness. 27 My bowels did boil without rest, for the days of affliction are come upon me. 28 I went mourning without sun, I stood vp in the congregation and cried. 29 I am a brother to the dragons, and a companion to the ostriches. 30 My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. 31 Therefore mine harp is turned to mourning, and mine organs into the voice of them that weep. Chapter 31 1 I made acquainted with mine eyes, why then should I think on a maid? 2 For what portion should I have God from above? And what inheritance of the Almighty from on high? 3 Is not destruction to the wicked and strange punishment to the workers of iniquity? For doeth not he behold my ways and tell all my steps? 5 If I ha walked in vanity, or if my foot hath made haste to deceit, 6 Let God weigh me in the highest balance, and he shall know mine brightens. 7 If my step hath turned out of the way, or mine heart hath walked after mine eye, or if any blot hath clod to mine hands, 8 Let me sow, and let another eat, yea, let my plants be rooted out. 9 If mine heart hath been deceived by a woman, or if I ha laid wait at the door of my neighbor, 10 Let my wife grin to another man, and let other men bow down upon her, 11 For this is a wickedness, and iniquity to be condemned, 12 Yea, this is a fire that shall dure to destruction, and which shall root out all mine increase, 13 If I did contemn the iagement of my servant, and of my maid, when they did contend with me, 14 What then shall I do when God standeth VP? And when he shall visit me, what shall I answer? 15 He that hath made me in the womb, hath he not made him? Hath not he alone fashioned verses in the womb? 16 If I restrained the poor of their desire, or ha caused the eyes of the widow to fail, 17 Or ha eaten my morsels alone, and the fatherless hath not eaten thereof, 18 For from my youth he hath grown VP with me as with a father, and from my mother's womb I ha been a guide to her, 19 If I ha seen any perish for want of clothing, or any poor without cooring, 20 If his loins ha not blessed me, because he was warmed with the fleece of my sheep, 21 If I ha lift VP mine hand against the fatherless, when I saw that I might help him in the gate, 22 Let mine arm fall from my shoulder, and mine arm be broken from the bone. 23 For God's punishment was fearful to me, and I could not be delivered from his hinds. 24 If I made gold mine hope, or ha said to the wedge of gold, Thou art my confidence, 25 If I rejoiced because my substance was great, or because mine hand had gotten much, 26 If I did behold the sun, when it shined, or the moon, walking in her brightness, 27 If mine heart did flatter me and secrete, or if my mouth did kiss mine hand, 28 This also had been an iniquity to be condemned, for I had denied the God Abu, 29 If I rejoiced at his destruction that hated me, or was mud to Ioi. When ill came upon him, 30 Neither ha I suffered my mouth to sin, by wishing a curse to his soul. 31 Did not the men of my tabernacle say, Who shall do verses of his flesh? We cannot be satisfied. 32 The stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my doors to him, that went by the way. 33 If I ha hid my sin, as Adam, concealing mine iniquity in my bosom, 34 Though I could ha made afraid a great multitude, yet the most contemptible of the families did fear me, so I kept silence, and went not out of the door. 35 Oh that I had some to hear me. Behold my signa that the Almighty will witness for me, though mine adversary should write a book against me, 36 Would not I take it upon my shoulder, and bind it as a crown to me? 37 I will tell him the number of my goings, and go to him as to a prince. 38 If my land cry against me, or the furrows thereof complain together, 39 If I ha eaten the fruits thereof without silure, or if I ha grid the souls of the masters thereof, 40 Let thistles grow instead of wheat, and cockle in the stead of barley. The words of Iab are ended. Chapter 32 1 So these 3 men ceased to answer Iab, because he esteemed himself highest. 2 Then the wrath of Elihu the son of Barachel the Buzite, of the family of Ram, was kindled, his wrath, I say, was kindled against Iab, because he justified himself more than God. 3 Also his anger was kindled against his 3 friends, because they could not find an answer, and yet condemned Iab. 4 Now Elihu had waited till Iab had spoken, for they were more ancient in years than he. 5 So when Elihu saw that there was none answer in the mouth of the 3 men, his wrath was kindled. 6 Therefore Elihu the son of Barachel, the Buzite answered, and said, I am young in years, and ye are ancient, therefore I doubted, and was afraid to shew you mine opinion. 7 For I said, the days shall speak, and the multitude of years shall teach wisdom. 8 Surely there is a spyrite in man, but the inspiration of the Almighty doeth understanding. 9 Great men are not always wise, neither do the aged always understand judgment. 10 Therefore I say, hear me, and I will shew also mine opinion. 11 Behold, I did wait upon your words, and hearkened to your knowledge, whiles you sought out reasons. 12 Yea, when I had considered you, lo, there was none of you that reproached Iab, nor answered his wards. 13 Lest ye should say, We ha found wisdom, for God hath cast him down, and no man. 14 Yet hath he not directed his words to me, neither will I answer him by your wards. 15 Then they fearing, answered no more, but left off their talka. 16 When I had wait, for they spake not, but stood still and answered no more. 17 Then answered I in my turn, and I shewed mine opinion. 18 For I am full of matter, and the spirit within me compelleth me. 19 Behold, my belly is as the wine, which hath no vent, and like the new bottles that brast. 20 Therefore will I speak, that I may take breath, I will open my lips, and will answer a. 21 I will not now accept the person of man, neither will I do titles to man. 22 For I may not do titles, lest my Maker should take me away suddenly. Chapter 33 1 Wherefore, Ayub, I pray thee, hear my talka and hearken to all my words. 2 Behold now, I ha opened my mouth, my tongue hath spoken in my mouth. 3 My words are in the brightness of mine heart, and my lips shall speak pure knowledge. For the spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty hath given me life. 5 If thou canst do me answer, prepare thyself and stand before me. 6 Behold, I am according to thy wish in God's stead, I am also formed of the clay. 7 Behold, my terror shall not fear thee, neither shall mine hand be holy upon thee. 8 Doubtless thou hast spoken in mine ears, and I ha heard the voice of thy words. 9 I am clean, without sin, I am innocent, and there is none iniquity in me. 10 Lo, he hath found occasions against me, and counted me for his enemy. 11 He hath put my feet in the stocks, and looketh narrowly to all my paths. 12 Behold, in this hast thou not done right, I will answer thee, that God is greater than man. 13 Why doest thou strive against him? For he doeth not due account of all his matters. 14 For God speaketh once or twice, and one seeth it not. 15 In dreams and visions of the night, when sleep falleth upon men, and they sleep upon their beds. 16 Then he openeth the ears of men, ewen by their corrections, which he had sealed. 17 That he might cause man to turn away from his enterprise, and that he might hide the pride of man. 18 And keep back his soul from the pit, and that his life should not pass by the sword. 19 He is also stricken with sorrow upon his bed, and the grief of his bones is sore. 20 So that his life causeth him to abhor bread, and his soul dainty meat. 21 His flesh faileth that it cannot be seen, and his bones which were not seen, clatter. 22 So his soul draweth to the ground, and his life to the buriers. 23 If there be a messenger with him, or an interpreter, 1 of 1,000 to declare to man his righteousness. 24 Then will he ha mercy upon him, and will say, Deliver him, that he go not down into the pit, for I ha received a reconciliation. 25 Then shall his flesh be as fresh as a child's, and shall return as in the days of his youth. 26 He shall pray to God, and he will be forbearable to him, and he shall see his face with eye, for he will render to man his righteousness. 27 He looketh upon men, and if one say, I ha sinned, and perverted righteousness, and it did not profit me. 28 He will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see the light. 29 Lo, all these things will God work twice or thrice with a man. 30 That he may turn back his soul from the pit, to be illuminate in the light of the living. 31 Mark well, O Ayub, and hear me, keep silence, and I will speak. 32 If there be matter, answer me, and speak, for I desire to justify thee. 33 If thou hast not, hear me, hold thy tongue, and I will teach thee wisdom. Chapter 34 1 Moreover Elihu answered, and said, To hear my words, ye wise men, and hearken to me, ye that ha knowledge. 3 For the ear trieth the words, as the mouth tasteth meat. For let verses seek judgment among verses, and let verses know among ourselves what is good. 5 For Ayub hath said, I am righteous, and God hath taken away my judgment. 6 Should I lie in my right? My wound of the arrow is gruesome without my sin. 7 What man is like Ayub, that drinketh scornfulness like water? 8 Which goeth in the company of them that work iniquity, and walketh with wicked men? 9 For he hath said, It profiteth a man nothing that he should walk with God. 10 Therefore hearken to me, ye men of wisdom, God forbid that wickedness should be in God, and iniquity in the Almighty. 11 For he will render to man according to his work, and cause every one to find according to his way. 12 And certainly God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. 13 Whom hath he appointed O you ear the earth beside himself? Or who hath placed the whole world? 14 If he set his heart upon man, and gather to himself his spirit and his breath. 15 All flesh shall perish together, and man shall return to dust. 16 And if thou hast understanding, hear this and hearken to the voice of my words. 17 Shall he that hath judgment, gurn? And wilt thou judge him wicked that is most highest? 18 Wilt thou say to a king, thou art wicked? Or to princes, ye are ungodly? 19 How much less to him that accepteth not the persons of princes, and regardeth not the rich, more than the poor. 9 They cause many that are oppressed, to cry, which cry out for ye violence of the mighty. 10 But none saith, Where is God that made me, which doeth songs in the NYGHT? 11 Which teacheth verses more than the beasts of the earth, and doeth verses more wisdom than the foals of the Hoan. 12 Then they cry because of the violence of the wicked, but he answereth not. 13 Surely God will not hear vanity, neither will the Almighty regard it. 14 Although thou sayest to God, thou wilt not regard it, yet judgment is before him, trust thou in him. 15 But now because his anger hath not visited, nor called to count the Yule with great extremity. 16 Therefore Iyab openeth his mouth in vain, and multiplieth words without knowledge. Chapter 36 1 Elihu also proceeded and said, 2 Suffer me a little, and I will instruct thee, for I ha yet to speak on God's behalf. 3 I will fetch my knowledge afar off, and will attribute righteousness to my Maker. For truly my words shall not be false, and he that is perfect in knowledge, speaketh with thee. 5 Behold, the mighty God casteth away none that is mighty and valiant of courage. 6 He maintaineth not the wicked, but he doeth judgment to the afflicted. 7 He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but they are with kings in ye throne, where he placeth them for ewer, thus they are exalted. 8 And if they be bound in fetters and tied with the cordis of affliction, 9 Then will he shew them their work and their sins, because they ha been proud. 10 He openeth also their ear to discipline, and commendeth them that they return from iniquity. 11 If they obey and serve him, they shall end their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasures. 12 But if they will not obey, they shall pass by the sword, and perish without knowledge. 13 But the hypocrites of heart increase the wrath, for they call not when he bindeth them. 14 Their soul dieth in youth, and their life among the whoremongers. 15 He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ear in trouble. 16 You and so would he ha taken thee out of the strait place into a broad place and not shut thee beneath, and that which resteth upon thy table, had been full of fat. 17 But thou art full of the judgment of the wicked, though judgment and equity maintain all things. 18 For God's wrath is, lest he should take that away in thine abundance, for no multitude of gifts can delude thee. 19 Will he regard thy riches? He regardeth not gold, nor all them that excel in strength. 20 Be not careful in the night, how he destroyeth the people out of their place. 21 Take thou heed, look not to iniquity, for thou hast chosen it rather than affliction. 22 Behold, God exalteth by his power, what teacher is like him? 23 Who hath appointed to him his way? Or who can say, Thou hast done wickedly? 24 Remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold. 25 All men see it, and men behold it afar off. 26 Behold, God is excellent, and we know him not, neither can the number of his years be searched out. 27 When he restraineth the drops of water, the rain powereth down by the vapor thereof. 28 Which rain the clouds do drop and let fall abundantly upon man. 29 Who can know the divisions of ye clouds and the thunders of his tabernacle? 30 Behold, he spreadeth his light upon it, and coureth the bottom of the sea. 31 For thereby he judgeth the people, and doeth meat abundantly. 32 He coureth the light with the clouds, and commendeth them to go against it. 33 His companion sheweth him thereof, and there is anger in rising vp. Chapter 37 1 At this also mine heart is astonied, and is mud out of his place. 2 Hear the sound of his voice, and the noise that goeth out of his mouth. 3 He directeth it vender the whole hoen, and his light to the endies of the world. For after it a noise soundeth, he thundereth with the voice of his majesty, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. 5 God thundereth merulously with his voice, he worketh great things, which we know not. 6 For he saith to the snow, Be thou upon the earth, likewise to the small rain and to the great rain of his power. 7 With the force thereof he shutteth vpuri man, that all men may know his work. 8 Then the beasts go into the Danae, and remain in their places. 9 The whirlwind cometh out of the south, and the cold from the north wind. 10 At the breath of God the frost is dewen, and the breadth of the waters is made narrow. 11 He mocketh also the clouds to labor, to water the earth, and scattereth the cloud of his light. 12 And it is turned about by his government, that they may do whatsoever he commandeth them upon the whole world. 13 Whether it be for punishment, or for his land, or of mercy, he causeth it to come. 14 Hearken to this, O Iyab, stand and consider the wondrous works of God. 15 Didst thou know when God disposed them? And caused the light of his cloud to shine? 16 Hast thou known the variety of the cloud, and the wondrous works of him that is perfect in knowledge? 17 Or how thy clothes are warm, when he mocketh the earth quiet through the south wind? 18 Hast thou stretched out the hose, which are strong, and as a molten glass? 19 Tell versus what we shall say to him, for we cannot dispose our matter because of darkness. 20 Shall it be told him when I speak? Or shall man speak when he shall be destroyed? 21 And now men see not the light, which shineth in the clouds, but the wind passeth and cleanseth them. 22 The brightness cometh out of the north, the praise thereof is to God, which is terrible. 23 It is the Almighty, we cannot find him out, he is excellent in power and judgment, and aboundant in justice, he afflicteth not. 24 Let men therefore fear him, for he will not regard any that are wise in their own conceit. Chapter 38. 1 Then answered the Lord to Iyab out of the whirlwind, and said, 2 Who is this that darkeneth the counsel by words without knowledge? 3 Gird vp now thy loins like a man, I will demand of thee and declare thou to me. For where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding. 5 Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest, or who hath stretched the line ouer it? 6 Whereupon are the foundations thereof set, or who laid the cornerstone thereof? 7 When the stars of the morning praised me together, and all the children of God rejoiced. 8 Or who hath shut vp the sea with doors, when it issued and came forth as out of the womb? 9 When I made the clouds as a cowering thereof, and darkness as the swaddling bands thereof. 10 When I stablished my commandment upon it, and set bars and doors. 11 And said, Hitherto shalt thou come, but no farther, and here shall it stay thy proud vows. 12 Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days? Hast thou caused the morning to know his place? 13 That it might take hold of the corners of the earth, and that the wicked might be shaken out of it? 14 It is turned as clay to fashion, and all stand vp as a garment. 15 And from the wicked their light shall be taken away, and the high arm shall be broken. 16 Hast thou entreed into the bottoms of the sea? Or hast thou walked to seek out the depth? 17 Ha the gates of death been opened to thee? Or hast thou seen the gates of the shadow of death? 18 Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Tell if thou knowest all this. 19 Where is the way where light dwelleth? And where is the place of darkness? 20 That thou shouldest receive it in the bounds thereof, and that thou shouldest know the paths to the house thereof. 21 Knewest thou it, because thou wast then born, and because the number of thy days is great? 22 Hast thou entreed into the treasures of the snow? Or hast thou seen the treasures of ye highly? 23 Which I ha hid against the time of trouble, against the day of war and battle? 24 By what way is the light parted, which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? 25 Who hath doited the spouts for the rain? Or the way for the lightning of ye thunders? 26 To cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, and in the wilderness where there is no man? 27 To fulfill the wild and waste place, and to cause the bud of the herb to spring forth? 28 Who is the father of the rain? Or who hath begotten the drops of the dew? 29 Out of whose womb came the ye? Who hath engendered the frost of the hoen? 30 The waters are hid as with a stone, and the face of the depth is frozen. 31 Canst thou restrain the sweet influences of the Pleiades? Or loose the bands of Orion? 32 Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in their time? Canst thou also guide Arcturus with his songs? 33 Knowest thou the course of Hoenn, or canst thou set the rule thereof in the earth? 34 Canst thou lift VP thy voice to the clouds that the abundance of water may cover thee? 35 Canst thou send the lightnings that they may walk, and say unto thee, Lo, here we are? 36 Who hath put wisdom in the reines? Or who hath joined the heart understanding? 37 Who can number clouds by wisdom? Or who can cause to cease the bottles of Ho? 38 When the earth groweth into hardness, and the clots are fast together. Chapter 39. 1 Wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion? Or fill the appetite of the lion's whelps? 2 When they couch in their places, and remain in the court to lie in wait. 3 Who prepareth for the raw in his meat, when his birds crave to God, wandering for lack of meat? For knowest thou the time when the wild goats bring forth young? Or doest thou mark when the hens doe calue? 5 Canst thou number the months that they fulfill? Or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? 6 They bow themselves, they bruise their young and cast out their sorrows. 7 Yet their young wax fat, and grow VP with corn, they go forth and return not to them. 8 Who hath set the wild assy at liberty? Or who hath loosed the bonds of the wild assy? 9 It is I which ha made the wilderness his house, and the salt places his dwellings. 10 He daredeth the multitude of the city, he heareth not the cry of the dryuer. 11 He seeketh out the mountain for his pasture, and searcheth after every green thing. 12 Will of Nicorn seru thee? Or will he tarry by thy crib? 13 Canst thou bind the Nicorn with his band to labor in the furrow? Or will he plough the valleys after thee? 14 Wilt thou trust in him, because his strength is great, and cast off thy labor to him? 15 Wilt thou below him, that he will bring home thy seed, and gather it into thy barn? 16 Hast thou joined the pleasant wings to the peacocks? Or winges and feathers to the ostrich? 17 Which loweth his eggies in the earth, and mocketh them out in the dust. 18 And forgetteth that the foot might scatter the, or that the wild beast might break the. 19 He sheweth himself cruel to his young ones, as they were not his, and is without fear, as if he trawled in vain. 20 For God had deprived him of wisdom, and hath given him no part of understanding. 21 When time is, he mounteth on high, he mocketh the horse and his rider. 22 Hast thou given the horse strength? Or covered his neck with neighing? 23 Hast thou made him afraid as the grasshopper? His strong neighing is fearful. 24 He diggeth in the valley, and reoseth in his strength, he goeth forth to meet the harnessed man. 25 He mocketh at fear, and is not afraid, and turneth not back from the sword. 26 Though the quour rattle against him, the glittering spear and the shield. 27 He swalloweth the ground for fear scenes and rage, and he believeth not that it is the noise of the trumpet. 28 He saith among the trumpets, Ha, ha. He smelleth the battle afar off, and the noise of the captains, and the shouting. 29 Shall the hawk fly by thy wise dome, stretching out his wings toward the south? 30 Doeth the eagle mount VP at thy commandment, or make his nest on high? Job, she abideth and remaineth in the rock, Uan on the top of the rock, and the tower. Job, from thence she speeth for meat, and her eyes behold afar off. Job, his young ones also suck VP blood, and where the slain are, there is she. Job, moreover ye Lord spake to Iab, and said, Job, is this to learn to strive with the Almighty? He that reproveth God, let him answer to it. Job, then Iab answered the Lord, saying, Job, behold, I am vile, what shall I answer thee? I will lay mine hand upon my mouth. Job, once ha I spoken, but I will answer no more, yet twice, but I will proceed no further. Chapter 40. 1 Again the Lord answered Iab out of the whirlwind, and said, To gird VP now thy loins like a man, I will demand of thee, and declare thou to me. 3 Wilt thou disannul my judgment? Or wilt thou condemn me, that thou mayst be justified? 4 Or hast thou an arm like God? Or doest thou thunder with a voice like him? 5 Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, and array thyself with bow tie and glory. 6 Cast abroad the indignation of thy wrath, and behold Uri one that is proud, and abase him. 7 Look on Uri one that is arrogant, and bring him low, and destroy the wicked in their place. 8 Hide them in the dust together, and bind their faces in a secret place. 9 Then will I confess to thee also, that thy right hand can saw thee. 10 Behold now Behemoth, whom I made with thee, which eateth grass as an ox. 11 Behold now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the null of his belly. 12 When he taketh pleasure, his tail is like a cedar, the sinews of his stones are wrapped together. 13 His bones are like stars of brass, and his small bones like stars of iron. 14 He is the chief of the ways of God, he that made him, will make his sword to approach to him. 15 Surely the mountains bring him forth grass, where all the beasts of the field a play. 16 Lieth he under the trees in the court of the reed and fens? 17 Can the trees cover him with their shadow? Or can the willows of the Reur compass him about? 18 Behold, he spoileth the Reur, and hasteth not, he trusteth that he can draw Iorden into his mouth. 19 He taketh it with his eyes, and thrusteth his nose through whatsoever meeteth him. 20 Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, and with a line which thou shalt cast down to his tongue? 21 Canst thou cast an hook into his nose? Canst thou pierce his jaws with an angle? 22 Will he make many prayers unto thee, or speak thee fair? 23 Will he make acquainted with thee? And wilt thou take him as a seruant for Ur? 24 Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maids? Job, shall the companions becay with him? Shall they duide him among the merchants? Job, canst thou fill the basket with his skin? Or the fish pannier with his head? Job, lay thine hand upon him, remember the batel, and do no more so. Job, behold, his hope is in vain, for shall not one perish ewen at the sight of him? Chapter 41. None is so fierce that dare stir him VP. Who is he then that can stand before me? 2 Who hath prevented me that I should make an endy? Alvenderhoen is mine. 3 I will not keep silence concerning his parties, nor his power nor his comely proportion. For who can discover the face of his garment? Or who shall come to him with a double bridle? 5 Who shall open the doors of his face? His teeth are fearful round about. 6 The majesty of his scales is like strong shields, and are sure sealed. 7 One is set to another, that no wind can come between them. 8 One is iron to another, they stick together, that they cannot be sundered. 9 His sneezings make the light to shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. 10 Out of his mouth go lampies, and sparks of fire leap out. 11 Out of his nostrils cometh out smoke, as out of a boiling pot or cauldron. 12 His breath mocketh the coals burn, for a flame goeth out of his mouth. 13 In his neck remaineth strength, and labor is reacted before his face. 14 The members of his body are ironed, they are strong in themselves, and cannot be mud. 15 His heart is as strong as a stone, and as hard as the nether millstone. 16 The mighty are afraid of his majesty, and for fear they faint in themselves. 17 When the sword doeth touch him, he will not rise VP, nor for the spear, dart nor habergeon. 18 He estameth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. 19 The archer cannot make him flee, ye stones of the sling are turned into stubble to him. 20 The darts are counted as straw, and he laugheth at the shaking of the spear. 21 Sharp stones are vendor him, and he spreadeth sharp things upon the mire. 22 He mocketh the depth to boil like a pot, and mocketh the sea like a pot of ointment. 23 He mocketh a path to shine after him, one would think the depth as an hoar head. 24 In the earth there is none like him, he is made without fear. 25 He beholdeth all high things, he is a king o'er all the children of pride. Chapter 42. Then Iab answered the Lord, and said, 2 I know that thou canst do all things, and that there is no thought hidden from thee. 3 Who is he that hideth counsel without knowledge? Therefore ha I spoken that I understood not, things too wonderful for me, and which I knew not. For hear, I beseech thee, and I will speak, I will demand of thee, and declare thou to me. 5 I ha heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now mine eye seeth thee. 6 Therefore I abhor myself, and repent in dust and ashes. 7 Now after that the Lord had spoken these words to Ahab, ye Lord also said to Eliphaz ye Temanite, My wrath is kindled against thee, and against thy 2 friends, for ye ha not spoken of me the thing that is right, like my servant Ahab. 8 Therefore take to you now sewen bullocks, and sewen rams, and go to my servant Ahab, and offer VP for your sellers a burnt offering, and my servant Ahab shall pray for you, for I will accept him, lest I should put you to shame, because ye ha not spoken of me the thing, which is right, like my servant Ahab. 9 So Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite went, and did according as the Lord had said to them, and the Lord accepted Ahab. 10 Then the Lord turned the captivity of Ahab, when he prayed for his friends, also the Lord gave Ahab twice so much as he had before. 11 Then came to him all his brethren, and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and had compassion of him, and comforted him for all the Ule that the Lord had brought upon him, and Uri man gave him a piece of money, and Uri won an earring of gold. 12 So the Lord blessed the last days of Ahab more than the first, for he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses. 13 He had also sons, and 3 daughters. 14 And he called the name of one Iamamah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Karen-Happuch. 15 In all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Ahab, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. 16 And after this lewd Ahab 104 years, and saw his sons, and his sons, in 4 generations. 17 So Ahab died, being old, and full of days.